Hi everyone, welcome back to Copperline Rattler Ranch. It's been a scorcher of a summer and we haven't gotten much rain this monsoon season. So it's really hot, and it's even hot in here. We've been using this little portable swamp cooler to kind of help keep things cool. Under normal temperatures, we'd probably be fine in here. We still have to do a little bit more work on the underground passive cooling system that we haven't got quite working yet. So we have a couple issues we're working on that. When we get it figured out, we'll probably tell you. Dawn has finished the ceiling insulation and excuse me, and it is quite noticeable. You can really tell the difference at how much that's helping to control the temperature in here. We're also bringing in all the drywall, staging it here in the living room. This is the drywall that's going to go into the bedroom, on the one bedroom wall and the ceiling. Once we're done with that, then we'll go get what we need for the living room, which will probably be about the same number. It's just easier to stage it in the opposite room so it's not in the way as he's putting it up on the ceiling. So our son has lent us his drywall hoist, and that's what Dawn's using to put the drywall on the walls and especially up on the ceilings. So in here in the bedroom, as you saw last time, I did all these whitewash on the walls, and Dawn has been doing some drywall. So we have the one wall and the ceiling that we're drywalling in here, one wall and a ceiling in the living room that we're doing. So Dawn has started, he just got a little bit more of the wall to do, but before he finishes this wall, we want to put an outlet on the roof. So he's going to go up. This pipe here is the toilet vent. He's going to put a power outlet on the east side of that toilet vent, so we can have a power outlet up on the roof. He likes to do Christmas lights, things like that, if we want to do some other things up there, because like we've said, it's going to be like a little observation deck. So we'd like to be able to plug a few things in up there if we decide we want to sit up there some night. The drywall on the ceiling went up fairly well. You can see this is where the ceiling fan goes. And we can see the top of the wall is going to need a bit of work. So my plan is to make some plain lime plaster, put that in there first, and then do a lime wash over it to seal up that. It goes all the way around. Up here, Dawn had to kind of chip away a little bit because we wanted the drywall to tuck up between the wall and the joists. So he carved a little bit off, so I'll have to dust all that off, put the plaster up there, and then do the lime wash on that. So like I said, it's been unusually hot, about 10 to 15 degrees hotter than normal. Like everyone's saying, it's attributed to global warming. So that's kind of frightening. But it's what we've put ourselves into. Anyway, enough about that, because I know that's going to cause some ruckuses. So what I'm going to be doing while he's working on the roof and the outlet that's going up there is, some time ago we bought a coffee bar that will go, let me show you, see this blue PEX piping right here? Down below there's a spot where it's going to be coming out. I don't know, let me show you, hang on. So down there, you can hardly, so down there you can see, here's where the PEX comes out. We'll make a line that will go up either through the coffee bar or on its own to a faucet of some sort in the coffee bar area. We're not fully decided on what we're going to do with it exactly yet. And then the coffee bar will sit on this wall. All the stuff, of course, will go away. So that we can have a little coffee bar in the house, separate from the kitchen that we'll be building after the house is done. So I'm working in the bedroom, and you can see over here where when he put the drywall up, we have a little bit of a gap. So I'm just using a simple, a simple plain lime plaster to fill in that gap. I'm leaving a little bit of space so that when we put the ceiling tiles up, we can slip them behind there so that they'll look a little bit better without having to put crown molding on. But you can kind of see what it looks like. I will, oh hi wasp. I will be doing a whitewash on all the areas that I do the plaster on. This side I just need to clean up because there's places where he had to scrape away some of the cob with the lime wash on it. So I'll just have to re-lime wash those areas, dust them off and then re-lime wash them. And then I just have to go all the way around on this side. Won't take me too long. This only has taken me a few minutes so far. There's a wasp in here, so that's what you saw flying by. That's where we're at with this. Donna's out working on our solar power. We're having a problem with our generator. We actually overtaxed the system yesterday. I was watering the garden because it's been so blazing hot. We were running the air in the RV, and we were running the swamp cooler in here, and we were running a few thousand other things. And we just neglected to think about what it was going to do to the system. So there's an issue with the generator that works to supplement when we use too much power. So he's working on that, trying to get it resolved, and so that we don't have this problem again. And it's just going to help us be aware. It's going to help us be aware that we need to be more mindful. We usually are, but every once in a while we slip. So that's where he's at while I'm working on this bedroom between the wall and the drywall on the ceiling. So the drywall on the one bedroom wall, and of course framing the pocket door, is done. We still have to do the tape on the ceiling. So a lot of the ceiling stuff, woo, don't get dizzy. A lot of the ceiling stuff still needs to be taped. We're not professionals at this. We don't want to show you how awkward we are. If you need to learn how to do this, there are tons and tons of videos out there on how to do this correctly. We fumble through it all the time. Dawn is working in the living room on the wall in there, and then he'll do from that to the ceiling, and we'll get that all taped and the joint compound in, and then we're going to be doing a texture, just like we did in the bathroom. We'll be doing the texture on the walls, not the ceiling. The ceiling is going to get a tile similar to what the bathroom has, that faux tin tile look. We're done with the install and the drywall in both the bedroom and the living room. We still have to finish the joint compound and the taping, and then we can get moving on to the texture on the walls. We're getting the tiles ordered probably in the next day or two for both the ceilings, and we also are starting to do our search on getting a piece of equipment that can help smooth out these concrete floors, the floor grinder. All right, it's 4 o'clock in the morning. Dawn has gone to Tucson to get the grinder for the floor because that's the only place we could find to rent one. So he's dashing up there, it's a 2-hour trip, to rent that. And while he's doing that, I've got to clean out everything that's left in the house because we only have a day with that thing. So we're going to work it on the floors, and then we have to get it back up. We have to get it back up tomorrow. My hair's a mess. So that's what I'm up to right now. I know that we showed you earlier us cleaning everything out because we were done with the drywall. We still have to finish the tape and joint compound and going over the screws with that joint compound in the living room. It's not quite done yet, but we saw the opportunity to get these floors ready to go because I am going to do the brown paper floor in the bedroom. We're going to try it, hope it works. And we have a few things to do before we can get to that point. So we will need to go ahead and level the floors with the grinder, get all the high points. We do have a few high points, kind of smooth out these seams, if you will, where the different slabs meet up. Make sure that we fill any gaps with any kind of silicone or sealant, some sort of concrete sealant in between. And then we have to seal the concrete in both rooms before we do anything else with the floor. So my goal is to try and get, in about 2 weeks, have this floor ready to go. So that'll be something different, something we haven't tried before. Dawn still has to, of course, put the texture on the 2 walls, this wall, and of course the doorway from the bedroom to the living room, and then the wall that's shared with the bathroom and the living room. We're going to texture that as well. We've got our tiles ordered for our ceiling, and they should be here in a week or so. So things are kind of really moving along. I still have a lot of work to do in the living room. We still have to do the lime wash on the walls. I still have to kind of build up the edges of the walls to make it better, a more aesthetically pleasing look between the cob wall and the ceilings. So that still has to happen in there. So we've got quite a few little things to do before we're done. So that's where we're at. I'm going to get all the rest of this stuff out of here while he's gone and out of the way. So when he comes in, we can just run that machine in both rooms and get it ready to go because he does have to have it back tomorrow morning. Here we go. That's a lot. So we're going to start with the bedroom floor and then move on to the living room. So I'm going to leave this stuff in the living room. There's not a whole lot. A couple of chairs, another scaffold, just a few odds and ends, that kind of thing are in there. So we'll wait. We'll get this room done with the grinder. Then we'll go over there and get that room done. And we could just, Dawn and I can just take the rest of that stuff out, take just a couple minutes. So that's where we're at. Don's out working on the generator because we have a little bit of a problem. He found a rat's nest in it. So he has to get that taken care of and check the wiring to make sure nothing has been damaged, which we're suspicious that something has been because it's not operating properly. So just as a confession, we've been sleeping in the bedroom on the mattress that we took out of the RV for about a week or so now, simply because it's much, much cooler in here than it is that RV. We really noticed a problem with the generator because it's been so extremely hot, I know, all over the country. And it's been taxing the air conditioner on the RV. So we decided we're just going to sleep in here. We spend most of our time in here now anyway, working. And I'll just use the RV for meal preparations. We will sit in there in the mornings, watch a little television news with our breakfast, and then after that, I'm the only one who goes in there to make lunch, to make dinner, whatever we need like that. So most of our time is spent inside the house. So it is probably about 15 to 20 degrees cooler than it is outside. We haven't opened up the cooling vent yet, or the cooling tube, the geothermal, passive geothermal cooling yet. Just because we're doing a lot of work in here and a lot of it's still producing a lot of dust. So we have to finish the walls. I've got to finish the tape and mud on the ceiling in the living room. The ceiling tiles should be here Monday or Tuesday, can't remember which. So we can get those put up. Each room will take us about a day. We still have to put the texture on the walls once we get them sanded. And then I can start on the floor in the bedroom. And we did rent a floor concrete grinder. The only place we could find one for rent was in Tucson, which is a 2-hour drive each way. And you know, we always have trouble with these big box stores. Don got it here, and he's very particular about making sure he reviews manuals and safety precautions and all that good stuff. Well, the machine was incomplete. It didn't have a dust shroud, which helps keep the dust down, and that silica dust is dangerous. We were wearing our PPE with a big, you know, my son calls it Breaking Bad respirator, when he was working with that one, but it was still kicking dust everywhere. It was cutting out, it was overheating, it was everything you could think of. The motor wouldn't start, didn't sound right, so he spent another 4-hour round trip the same day to take that one back and exchange it and get another one that had the proper safety equipment on it and finish up what we needed to do. It did an okay job. We knew what it was going to do to the dry pour. So we're going to use leveling bound at least on that dry pour. We're going to use some other kind of patch for some of the seams. I know there's like a kind that you can put into a caulking gun and put in between the seams, between the slabs. That will help everything breathe and expand and contract and all that good stuff. So we're going to find that and get that done. And then we still haven't decided how we're going to do how we're going to handle the living room floor. So we're still kind of deciding. We've tossed around painting it, tiling it. I don't know if I want to tile. We might just paint, be done with it, and have it be the conversation floor. I did not record any of the floor grinding stuff. If you really think you need to learn that, there are lots of good videos out there. There's a company that the machine that we rented is called Edco, EDCO. They have lots of training videos, lots of how-to videos. So if you are interested in something like that, I would go to their YouTube channel and they can show you how those things are supposed to be properly maintained and properly run. So if you rent one, make sure you have the dust shroud and any other safety equipment that should be with it. There are reasons those are there, and the rental company shouldn't rent it without those. Sadly, we lost one of our 3 dogs. Sammy succumbed to heat stroke this week. He and Boris went out. They go out every morning and chase rabbits, and they didn't come back for quite a while. Boris came back just so sick. It took us forever to kind of get him just to come around. He's improving greatly, but we never did see Sammy again. The hot of that day with the humidity of monsoon, we know just did him in. We've been watching all the lost pets sites. Nothing's shown up. Posted something, nothing's shown up. So we're down to 2 dogs, sadly. That's what this heat's doing. I know other people have lost pets as well during this horrible, horrible, hot summer. That's going to be it for this week's video. We hope you enjoyed it. I know it was just kind of a smattering of a bunch of little things. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Questions, comments in the comment section below the video, and we'll see you next time. Bye. So hey everyone, it's Julia with Copperline Rattler Ranch. We're kind of in some situations with what we're working on that's just really not all that exciting. So I think I'm going to cut the videos down to every other week ish. That's kind of about where I've been headed anyway. So expect new videos about every 2 weeks. It might be a little bit longer. I just want to have enough content to make a good video for you to see.